What's up, guys? Part-Time Gamer Dad here. Today we are going to do a review of SummerSlam. We're going to compare against all of my predictions, see what I got right, see what I got wrong. Spoilers, I did pretty good. I did really good on this one. I did so good, in fact, that it's a little heartbreaking how close I came. But if you've seen the show, you know it's an interesting one. A lot of great action, some questionable things. But let's just get into it. But before we get into it, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and make sure you comment down below your thoughts on SummerSlam 2023. Do you like the direction they're going with some of these storylines? How do you feel the matches were? Was the quality up to your expectations, or did it fall a little flat? Let me know in the comments below. So what you see here are all of the matches that took place at SummerSlam 2023, along with my predictions for each of them. What you'll notice on here is that I have a green check mark and a red X, and these will show which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong. And we're going to start with a green check mark, and that one is going to go on the very first match of SummerSlam 2023, and that was Logan Paul defeating Ricochet. So what I'm going to do with these quick match reviews is just kind of go over my thoughts on each of them, kind of give a few little highlights, if you will, maybe some significant spots, and then just do a quick star rating. 1 through 5, yeah, I'm using the Meltzer score with the star ratings, but I think it's probably the most appropriate way for me to give a grade that makes sense in my brain. So Logan Paul versus Ricochet, to me, was a really great showing by both guys. Amazing athleticism. There were some botches, which I think is kind of what held it back a little bit. But I think that Ricochet continues to show why he should be focused more. He should be higher on the card. Logan Paul, to me, at this point, he's undeniable. He's a great heel. He knows how to work the crowd. And I don't think he's going too far off of how he actually is as a human being. So it really works well for him. I think the ending was good. I think it was a good way to protect Ricochet. I think my only issue with it is kind of what happens in the next match, and the kind of, we'll talk when we get there, but I think that it was a weird way to start SummerSlam in terms of the finish itself. So that all being said, I give this one 4 stars out of 5. I think it's a great match. I think it's a great way to start SummerSlam overall. The pace is great. I just think the finish held it back a little bit, some of the botches. But, overall, these two guys, they killed it. And it was a great way to start the show off with this kind of pace and this kind of expectation of what could happen throughout the night. Next is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And if you guys remember, I am a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I really believe there was no way that Cody was going to lose this match, and he didn't. So we have another one to add into our correct column. And actually, I should probably just duplicate these, yeah? Because that way they're the same size. We'll do that next time. Cody and Brock. This match, to me, it was an interesting one. I thought, first of all, before the match even took place, one of the best video packages in a while. I really thought all the video packages tonight were on point, but this one in particular really did well. I really felt mismatched at the beginning. I got 2014 Cena Brock vibes from SummerSlam that year. I think it brought the momentum set by Ricochet and Logan Paul way down to begin. And then it was weird because Brock Lesnar constantly kept going for a count-out victory, which was really bizarre to me. It doesn't fit his character at all. It's not in line with who he's been or how he's been presented, especially over the last 11 years since coming back. 11? Yeah, 2012. So 11 and a half years. The F5 on the outside of the table were both awesome spots. Cole, I don't know if you noticed this, Michael Cole kept calling Cody Rhodes Corey. He'd be instead of saying Cody, he said Corey. Always thought that was weird. Top rope Cody cutter was super cool. But no DQ after Cody hit Brock with the steel steps. Now, I wanted Cody to win, so I was really glad that didn't happen. I really thought they were going to call the DQ, and that would have cost me that point. But it was just weird. It wasn't a stipulation match, which it should have been. It should have been a bull rope match, but whatever. Or it should have been something else because of all of the things that occurred beforehand. I thought Cody locking in the Kimura was a nice touch. Really good. But I have a question. And I called this in my predictions video. I said that Cody was going to hit, I think I said 9 times, he's going to hit Crossroads 9 times. He hit 3 in a row. But why does he do that? I feel like it devalues his finisher, which we're going to get into that with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor in a bit as well as a spoiler. But like, why does he always hit it multiple times to defeat people? I feel like it kind of devalues the finish as a whole. But anyways, the handshake and hug at the end was unexpected. Apparently wasn't even part of the show. Brock just went off script and did it. So I thought it was a nice touch, but weird given the story heading in. So overall, I wish I could give it more based on the closing 5-6 minutes, but 3.5 stars. It's probably their best match so far, but I really don't think it was more than a 3.5 star match overall.
Moving forward with everything I got right. Look at this, guys. LA Knight. Yeah, he won the Battle Royal for nothing, the Slim Jim Battle Royal. Now, what I hope happens is this leads to him inserting himself into the United States Championship feud between Santos Escobar and Austin Theory. That would be really great. But let's get into the match real quick.
Now we get into arguably my favorite match, even though it's not like a highly rated match, but come on, guys. LA Knight, the Slim Jim Battle Royal. This is also, I'm going to say straight up, it's a 3.5 star match, but that's because my expectations going into this match were so low. I expected it to be a 2.5 at most. This match was as good as the Cody Brock match, which you wouldn't expect for a Battle Royal on a pay-per-view, but the LA Knight pop, dude, the guy's a megastar. It's not just a nickname at this point. It is reality. You gotta capitalize on the momentum. Also, what happened with AJ? I feel like he's fallen down significantly. You remember AJ's match with Cena at 2016 SummerSlam? It's a classic. It's one of my all-time favorites. Omos getting thrown in is fine. I honestly thought as soon as I saw Omos come in, I saw MVP and Omos show up, I thought Omos might win, but he didn't. Thank the Lord. Chad Gable is a star. That belly-to-belly elimination on Giovanni, it's class. The guy just he stole the show for me in this match. He was the standout star of the Battle Royal besides LA Knight. Ciampa eliminating the Viking Raiders, Nakamura in quick succession was great. A-Town down over the top rope was a really cool spot. The crowd seemed kind of dead throughout the first, I'm going to say 2/3 of the match outside of LA Knight stuff. Guys, Karrion Kross should be doing something better, but it looks like he's going to reignite the feud with AJ. He cost AJ the match. Alpha Academy versus Imperium, the storyline kind of running throughout the Battle Royal with them was great. I think that the match really did start picking up when LA Knight went after Omos and tried to attack him and eliminate himself. It was great. Omos ripping the apron curtain, I don't know why, but that legit made me laugh out loud. LA Knight eliminating Bronson Reed, that was huge. And then, of course, the belly-to-belly off the top from LA Knight was awesome. Kind of a callback to the night before when that botch occurred. And then, yeah, man, he won it, and it was amazing. The only note I had that was negative was that Michael Cole called it the Yab movement. Michael Cole, I love you. I think you're one of the best to ever do it, and you've really grown on me over the next few months. But I want you to know that calling it the Yab movement, it's devalued it a little bit for me, so please don't ever call it that again.
After that, we see that I was correct. Shayna Baszler beat Ronda Rousey.
Oh, this match. Or do you even call it a match? Do you just call it a fight? Shayna's promo beforehand was awkward. Like part of the video package, it was awkward. This is maybe just me. This is just my personality. So excuse me if you super disagree. Never understood the outrageous eye makeup thing. It looks just weird to me. But they both went for it. Who's the heel? Who's the face? Just by virtue of the story, it feels like Shayna's the face, but she's acting like the heel, and Ronda's acting like the courageous baby face, but she's not, and she never has been since she came back, so I don't know. MMA rules didn't work for me. It killed the pace of what we're used to, and the only thing I could think of is that this was to bring down after the Battle Royal, but I don't know. Maybe it was to give the semblance of realism, but like you could see with Gunther and Drew McIntyre. I know I said I won't call him Gunther, but like it's growing on me. Gunther and Drew McIntyre, you had that semblance of realism, and it worked really well, and it wasn't hindered by the MMA rules. I think Shayna getting checked on was ridiculous. It killed the match itself. I'm glad that Shayna won, but it was rough. Bye, Ronda. You haven't recaptured the magic since WrestleMania 35. Sorry. Go have fun doing what we're going to do next. Star and a half, and I think I'm being a little generous. Let's move on to the next match.
As predicted, the match of the night, the match that stole the show for me personally, the IC Championship match, Gunther defeated Drew McIntyre.
Now we get into the match that, as I predicted, was my match of the night. I don't know if it's a match of the year contender. I still think that the triple threat between Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre is better. But this was still an incredible match. Started off really hard hitting. That backdrop on the steel steps was really great. And guys, Gunther's chops are a thing of beauty. They're so great. And I think that the great thing about this matchup is that the physicality in it was just, it was top notch. The clothesline battle, usually you see like a punch battle, but this was a clothesline battle, which I thought was a really great pivot. And the German suplex where Drew popped up and then he clotheslined Gunther was amazing. McIntyre imposing over Gunther physically in a lot of ways because he's a little bit taller and he's bigger now was great. That powerbomb into a Future Shock, oh man, dude, I legit thought like he could have been bringing the Future Shock back as his finish after that, but obviously Gunther kicked out. McIntyre's just such an agile guy for how big he is. It was incredible. And the fact that he landed on his feet when he flipped to the outside was so good. I love the moment that the Claymore was countered into by a dropkick into a powerbomb from Gunther. That was great. I think it was really a really good story that like each individual finish that Gunther tried to use like couldn't put Drew away, but that like at the end of it, Gunther using all of the finishers like in succession is what took Drew out. So really great match. I feel like I said, that's how you make that kind of that realistic feeling that we didn't really get with Shayna and Ronda that I think they were going for. I think this match is a great example of how you do it. The chop off, holy crap! When they got into that chop off, like when Drew stopped the chop, I popped when he stopped Gunther. But then when he had to a chop off, that was incredible too. And then that finishing segment, everything from Gunther kicking out of Claymore on was amazing. 4.5 stars. This is my highest rated match of the night. And I think that this and the next match, probably for me out of all the matches, this is the best 2 matches in succession of the entire night, but this was easily the best one.
And now, the one that screwed up the whole thing, and that is Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor.
Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2023 for the World Heavyweight Championship 7 years after they wrestled in the inaugural Universal Championship match to determine the first ever Universal Champion when Finn Balor won, but he got injured, so he had to relinquish the belt the next night. This match could have stolen the whole night if it hadn't been for Gunther and Drew McIntyre. The promo package, like I was talking about earlier with Brock and Cody, the promo package, video package was incredible. Rollins wearing his 2016 jacket out as kind of like a wink, wink, nod, nod to Finn and being like, I haven't forgotten, was amazing. Such a nice touch. The fact that Finn powerbombed Seth into the barricade, such a good moment. Such a nice touch. It's like chef's kiss. It's just like, to me, I think that Gunther and Drew was a better match, but this was a tighter match. Like it was a more technical, well orchestrated match because the other match was just hostile. It was just dudes beating the crap out of each other. This one was a lot cleaner. Although I will say I really hate how devalued the pedigree has become. They both kicked out of it. It's not a finishing move anymore. It's a transition move. And I do think that's an issue. In terms of there's a feeling that the crowd was super into the match. I really feel like they were pulling for Finn. But I do think that there was an issue with it was kind of like back and forth. Like I feel like sometimes they were for Finn, sometimes they were for Seth. And I think if Finn would have won, the roof would have been blown off the place. But because it was just really frustrating to watch, like Seth take out the whole Judgment Day, Finn take advantage of the situation, and then Seth still kicks out. That was frustrating. Although the finish was super clever with Damian tossing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Finn goes to grab it. As he's going to grab it, he gets hit with the curb stop. That was an amazing touch. So 4.25 stars. I think the thing that holds it back for me is honestly Finn winning. If Finn would have won, this might have been match of the night. I think the crowd was ready for it. And not to say I don't like Seth. I think Seth is a fine world champ, and I think his reign is fine. It's a little underwhelming. I think this match is the best match they've had so far in this feud. But I do think I think it was time to pull the trigger on Finn. To me, I don't think Finn's ever going to win a world title again at all, at least in WWE after this. So I think this was the story. He had the 7 on his shoulder, so I don't think it's going to happen. But you know what? It is what it is. We'll see where the story goes from here. I think Damian will win a title. It's kind of sad that Finn's not going to, but Damian is. And I don't think Damian's bad at all. I actually really like Damian, but unless Damian wins and then Finn has a babyface run and then he takes it from Damian, I could see that being how they get the world title on Finn. But yeah, 4.25 stars. Really solid match. Interested to see where things go from here.
Then we got back on track, folks. We actually guessed correctly pretty much what was going to happen here. I'm not going to count Bianca winning the title as an X because technically Io Sky did leave SummerSlam with the belt via the cash-in, so we're going to count that one as a correct guess.
So this next match, I'm going to include what happened after the match. If you've seen the match, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to include everything that happened afterwards in my rating. So here are my quick thoughts because it's a lot of stuff happened in this match. But I feel like it was good, but something just didn't click with me. I think as soon as Asuka came out second and Bianca came out last, spoilers, I knew Bianca was winning. I just knew she was. Why are we always explaining the rules of triple threat title matches during the match? Like, I feel like Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, I don't know if I've seen Wade Barrett do it, but like they're always explaining, and this has been a thing even with JR and King back in the day. They explain the rules of a triple threat title match as it's happening. The champ doesn't have to be pinned to lose the title. We know. If you're a fan, you know. If you've seen one triple threat title match, you know. So that was a little frustrating. Charlotte, you know what? I'm going to give her a flower. She's fun to watch. She's really explosive. That double natural selection was fun. It kind of had a stack a moment from WrestleMania 37 with Roman feeling for a moment, but they kicked out, which was good. Bianca's back handspring moonsault on to both Asuka and Charlotte was fun. I think if I remember correctly, like Asuka had Charlotte in the Asuka lock, so great moment. It was just a little too predictable at times, like i.e. Charlotte's moonsault. Like we all saw that coming as it was like as everybody got thrown outside. I knew it was coming, and Charlotte hadn't even gone to the top yet. So the flip German to Charlotte was a great moment. Powerbomb to an Asuka lock, and Charlotte stacked pin. That was cool. Double moonsault was great. Like when Charlotte did it to both Asuka and Bianca at the same time. Then she went for a double figure 8, which was laughable. Like, just in terms of anatomy, that's not going to work. Bianca hitting the stairs looked real rough. And then, obviously it was a work. She came back into the ring. The 450 onto the figure 8 while Charlotte had Asuka locked in figure 8. Like, holy cow, that was incredible. And it was a good finish, but like, why did Bianca have to pin Asuka? Like, Asuka losing the belt was enough. You didn't have to have her take the fall. But then, thank God, Io Sky came out. She cashed in Money in the Bank. Bayley's taking everybody out with the briefcase. I love that. They used the briefcase on Bianca's injured knee. Hit the moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Dakota Kai comes up. They all hug it out. 1 year after Damage Control debuts as a stable, Io wins the belt. I'm glad that Bayley didn't turn on her. 3.5 stars from the entrances to EO winning the belt and the moment after. It was decent. Could have been better given all the ladies involved. Something just didn't click in there. But overall, serviceable match.
And yeah, it was predictable. We knew there was no way Jay was going to win. But Roman Reigns winning is another check mark in the correct category. But guys, look at this. 7 out of 8 correct. Only missed on Balor and Rollins. And if I had just used my brain instead of my heart, I probably could have told you that Rollins was going to win. But you know what? This is my best record so far. Let's get into this final match and talk about my thoughts on Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso.
And then the main event. Tribal Combat, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Guys, Jey is so over. Like, if he had won, they would have gone nuts. But he didn't. And this match was 36 minutes, so forgive me while I read off my phone. Roman's entrance, this is before the 36 minutes even starts. His entrance was 5.5 minutes long. I really like Roman a lot, but that entrance is just ridiculous. It did have a big fight feel. I really appreciated how they made the whole thing feel just like epic and grandeur and kind of the end to something. But the first half of the match was really plotting and just a predictable, typical Roman Reigns match. My highlight of that whole thing was the suicide dive to the spine on Roman on the outside. That was unique. It was different. It was cool, but it was one spot out of 15, 20 minutes. I do think that the thing that helped the match was it was a tribal combat match, which was anything goes. And you kind of roll with that. Heyman is definitely the best manager out there. He added a lot to this as well, including what happened at the end with the swerve. I do want to highlight something Corey said on commentary. It was a little dig at CM Punk when he did it was a reference from a promo he had with The Rock about your arms are just too short to box with God. They made reference to that, talking about Roman and Jay. The midair Superman punch that Roman connected on Jay with was so clean. These guys are so good. Like the whole bloodline storyline and all the performers involved with it. They've done a really good job of telling a great story with really good cinematics in terms of the drama, but also the physicality inside the ring, and it's been really crisp the whole time, honestly. The whole kendo stick section was really good. It was super emotional. Again, talking back to the emotion of this whole feud. And I really thought at one point, so when Roman went for the spear, Jay hit the roll up, kicks out of it, super kick, Uso splash, that could have been it. I would have been happy. But then we started getting some crazy stuff. This is where the match picked up. Powerbomb onto the pile of chairs. Great spot. Roman really shines as a heel. His crowd work is amazing. I would put him up there as top heels currently. That Samoan drop through the table looked a little rough. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman has a couple broken ribs from that. Jay hitting Roman with that leather strap, I just wrote oof, like a big oof. That sounded and looked painful. And can we just talk about real quick? So when they go into the crowd, that was fine. But did anybody else hear it and get a little annoyed by this fan saying, "Do it for Jimmy"? And then he also, Solo showed up, attacked him, and he was like, "How dare you?" You could hear the guy off camera, saying all this stuff. He's also trying to motivate Jay. If you didn't hear it, go back, watch, maybe 30 seconds before Solo shows up, through them, starting to take Jay's body away back to the ring. It's hilarious. Also, Jay pulling Solo into Roman's spear and then hitting his own spear on Roman, that was really cool. But then did anybody notice, right after that, when Solo caught Jay with the super kick on the outside, did Solo Sikoa drop an F-bomb? Or is that just me making that up? I could have sworn he dropped an F-bomb. I was like, whoa, okay. But then right after that, Jay hits Roman with the spear through the barricade. Jay takes Solo through a table, just like Solo took Jimmy out. He hits another spear on Roman, hits a splash. What an ending sequence. What a finish to a match. If Jimmy Uso hadn't pulled his own brother out of the ring. Guys, I called it. I called it during my predictions video. If you haven't watched it, it's right here. Go watch it. I could not have called that more clearly. And the crowd was shook, but the real question is, did Paul Heyman know? Because watch him in the background. he doesn't seem shocked. Roman seems shocked, but Paul Heyman just had a look of like, yeah, I got you, which was really weird. And then the spear through the table to finish the match. 1, 2, 3. Roman wins. He's still the tribal chief, and he's still the universal undisputed WWE champion. Who even knows what title lineage is going on anymore? 3.5 stars. Now here I can already, maybe some of you agree with me. I actually know plenty of people. I know somebody who gave this match 2 stars. It was a good match. I don't think I could give Jay versus Roman a bad match because they did a good job. The first half of the match, first half to maybe 2/3, it just didn't. Something just felt too predictable and too off. I called the finish from a mile away. I saw it was coming when I did my predictions video, even well before that. Solo actually, I think, took away from the match. I think Solo should have just sat this one out. We should have thought it was Solo pulling Jay out of the ring. I think it would have given more impact to it being Jimmy. I think that the whole Bloodline storyline is kind of fractured at this point. Like, where do you go from here? Do you go Roman versus Solo and Jay versus Jimmy? Obviously, they're going Jay versus Jimmy, but, like, I don't know where Roman goes from here. He's not going to wrestle Jimmy or Jay next. I would doubt he would. I don't really understand the whole Solo Sikoa being the one to dethrone him. I think Roman is taking it to WrestleMania. I think hopefully we're going to see Cody Roman Part 2. Although that's kind of weird because where does Cody go after Brock and where does Seth go after Finn? Like, I feel like Seth and Cody are probably going to duke it out for the world title soon. A lot of things just feel weird after this. And SummerSlam overall, I would give SummerSlam like a B+. There was a lot of really good stuff that happened on this show. The Seth Finn match actually was really good, like I said. Just the ending wasn't great. Well, I mean, the actual finish was good. There's who won the title wasn't who I would have picked. And then Gunther Drew was great. Logan Paul Ricochet was great. Battle Royal was awesome. Women's title match was all right. MMA rules match was not good. And what am I forgetting? That's it. Cody Brock. Cody Brock was fine, but where does Cody go from here? So B+ pay-per-view, one of the best SummerSlams in the last 10 years, just like last year's SummerSlam, but I would put a B+, A-. If you remember, I just did the tier ranking. I would put it up there, probably with 2023, so I'd give it an A. I'm sorry, 2022 and 2023, I'd put it at the same level, so I'd give this one an A because I gave 2022 an A. Yeah, guys. That was a 4-hour show. That's the other thing about this show. It's 4 hours long. It was just a long pay-per-view. Or, premium live event. So, what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. Like I said at the beginning of this video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon.